Whether you're trying it for the first time or recommitting to rounding after a not-so-stellar first attempt, be assured that rounding is well worth your time and energy. In fact, nearly every major patient safety organization considers rounding to be one of the best ways for leaders to demonstrate their commitment to patient safety and just culture principles. One of the biggest benefits of rounding is that it offers insight into what's really going on inside your organization. There's simply no substitute for having a candid discussion with frontline staff about what is or isn't working on the unit. As a first-hand observer, you're in the unique position to identify and remove barriers that adversely impact patient safety. Finally, when leaders round with consistency and follow through on reported events, staff feel important, they feel valued for their input, and they naturally realign with the mission and the values of the organization, knowing that in their place of work, the leaders not only talk the talk, but quite literally walk the walk. So you've made this wonderful decision to round. Can you just gather your team and head to the ICU? Unfortunately not. And for rounding to be a meaningful and sustainable activity, and not just the flavor of the month, a little planning is essential. The first thing you'll need to consider is the composition of your rounding team. In addition to your senior leadership, you'll want your risk manager or patient safety officer to join. Their expertise is needed. But also consider including, perhaps on a rotational basis, other employees of the organization. Inviting another perspective can truly strengthen the team. Consider inviting a director of pharmacy or the director of nursing. Who better than a nurse to spot a patient safety issue? What about an MD chief? This might be an especially good opportunity to foster collaboration with your physicians. And if your hospital partners with patient advisors who have completed compliance and HR training, they too can offer really fresh insights into improving safety and service. Your multidisciplinary team is important both practically and symbolically, and communicates to all that patient safety is everyone's job. To get the most out of rounding, you may want to form rounding pairs partnering clinical and non-clinical staff. The next order of business is to meet with the team to orient them to what's ahead. They'll want to know why you're rounding and how it's going to happen. At your first meeting as a team-building activity, consider developing a mission statement to define the purpose of rounding and what you expect to accomplish. Also, discuss how frequently you will round. Be sure to communicate that rounding dates must be on calendar and attendance is expected. Also, discuss how you will debrief on reported issues and how information will be tracked to resolution. We recommend debriefing immediately after rounding to ensure that all reported events are discussed and recorded. Finally, consider providing your rounding team with a script, with questions, and a notes page to ensure that all reported issues are captured. It's crucial that all members of the rounding team be thoroughly educated in just culture principles, so that any information shared about errors, deficiencies, or sensitive matters is responded to in a constructive and non-punitive way. Be certain to remind the team to thank and recognize as a patient safety advocate any individual who escalates a patient safety concern, as well as those who courageously self-report errors and near misses. Finally, give hospital personnel a heads up about rounding so that managers and directors can prepare staff for what's ahead. And now you're ready to head out. Given the traditional historic separation of administrative and frontline staff, you can expect at a minimum curiosity about your presence on the unit. However, if your organization is committed to a regular rounding schedule, this initial awkwardness will fade away. When you first meet with staff, keep it light and open with a rapport-building question. Ask them about their job or their family, or who they cheered for in the Super Bowl. Whatever the question, keep the tone light and easy to create ease and establish trust. Next, explain the purpose of rounding to staff, perhaps stating that the organization, everyone from administrators to frontline staff, is one team committed to the common goal of ensuring the safety of all patients and staff, and that their input is essential to recognizing opportunities to improve. If staff are reluctant to share information or fear being identified as a whistleblower, remind them that the goal is to create a transparent, just culture where staff are free to openly discuss errors in order to make improvements. the focus being on safer systems and better choices and not on personal failure. Here are a few questions to get the conversation going. Focusing on what's good is often the best place to start. What's working well on the unit? Is there anyone who should be recognized for doing great work? Do you feel you have all the education, equipment, and support needed to perform well in your job? What are the barriers to providing safe care and excellent service? Are you comfortable reporting errors and near misses or speaking up about patient safety? What can we do to improve the reporting of patient safety concerns? In your opinion, are there any serious threats to patient safety on this unit or elsewhere? When you think about your job or patient care on this unit, is there anything that keeps you up at night? After rounding, be certain to set aside time to debrief and discuss patient safety issues. It's important to maintain and review a tracking log, ensuring timely completion of all actions reported. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, schedule time in your rounding schedule to follow up with individuals who reported patient safety concerns to inform them of your progress towards correcting the issue. Doing this is extremely important because staff aren't always aware of the efforts of leaders and administrators to improve quality and patient safety. In fact, it's not uncommon for staff to report an issue via incident report or through the hotline and think that their efforts were in vain because no one bothered to follow up. So be certain to set aside time to follow up with staff on the issues they report. When this happens, rounding is no longer the flavor of the month, but a truly transformational endeavor. Good luck, enjoy, and if you need any help or assistance, contact your CAPAssurance consultant.